y'all, it's Kayla and welcome back to my channel. Today it's going to be the first ever video version of a Read with Kayla. So if you follow my blog, you would know that every other week I post a blog post with my reviews, ratings, and just a list of what I've read the 2 weeks before. So I decided I wanted to try and bring those into YouTube now and do a video format, because I know for some people it's better to like hear someone talk about a book than to just read about someone's opinion. If you want to see my opinions in real time about the books I'm reading, make sure you follow me on Goodreads, and that is in the description, but then also on my Bookstagram, ReadWithKaylaXO. I post as I'm reading things, random book lists, all my book nerd things pretty much go on to ReadWithKaylaXO. I also do a lot of book stuff on TikTok. So TikTok is StyledByKaylaXO. So make sure you're following me in all the places always. But if you're looking for more book content, the blog, Goodreads, Read with Kayla, and TikTok are the places to be. So in this first Read with Kayla video, this is for February 14th through the 27th. I have 9 books to talk about. These are not currently in front of me in the order I read them, so we're just gonna go with it. It's okay. If you want to know the order I read them, check out the blog post. It'll be linked in the description of this video. Or again, follow me on Goodreads. But let's start talking about some books. So the first book we're gonna talk about is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book I gave 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It is about a Hollywood starlet, Evelyn Hugo, who rose to fame in the 50s and 60s in film, and was most well known for having had 7 husbands throughout her life. And at the start of this book, her team reaches out to a magazine under the ruse of doing a cover story and asks for a specific reporter. But when that reporter goes to meet with her, she asks her actually to write her memoirs, and says that there is a reason why she's asking for her specifically, but she won't find out until she gets all the information she needs for the memoir. So she goes through, she tells her life story to this young woman, and then finally reveals why she wanted this young woman to write her biography. So that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I really enjoyed it. There's some things that I want to talk about that I enjoyed that I can't talk about without spoiling some of it. But it just was like a beautiful picture of like how lives can be interconnected, and just like a good message of being your authentic self, and talking about the regrets that, you know, the actress had of not being her authentic self always. So I highly recommend this book. All right, next we have You Say It First by Katie Cotugno. This little gem right here. I also gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoy this one. It is about a young woman who's in her senior year of high school waiting for college acceptances. She works at a call center that encourages people and helps them register to vote. And one night she gets broken up with by her boyfriend. And then the next time she goes to work, she accidentally gets a hold of a young man who lives in Ohio, by thinking she was calling asking for his father, who has unfortunately passed away. But they get into a conversation. They kind of insult each other. She breaks the rules of work and calls him back and gives him her personal number to apologize because she felt like she was cranky, even though she wasn't supposed to ever call back a number that hangs up on her. She's not supposed to get out personal information. But then they get to talking. And that is You Say It First. I really enjoyed this book. You know me, I love a good, not necessarily forbidden, because it's not a forbidden romance, but it's a like unconventional or like odds are stacked against you kind of romance, and that is You Say It First. Speaking of another odds are stacked against you romance, we've got The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I rated this 3 stars. I did really enjoy this book. I think that it could have been more concise in some areas and expanded in others. If you know anything about the story of Achilles and Patroclus, that's basically what this book is. It starts when Patroclus first comes to Achilles' father's palace when he's exiled from his own home, and goes through their friendship and assumed romance. It's kind of one of those stories in Greek mythology and history. It's like, were Achilles and Patroclus lovers or were they not? This obviously takes the take that they were, and goes through their romance leading up to both of their deaths in the Trojan War. It was good. Not my favorite book I've read this year, but it was really good. Alrighty, I'm gonna save this one for later. Next up we have Crave by Tracy Wolff. I rated this one 3 stars. It's a lot of exposition, which in a fantasy world you kind of expect that, like, especially if it's a 4-part series, which this is. I was a little bit baffled by the timeline of this series. I thought this book, when I picked it up, I thought it was published like early 2019, maybe late 2018, because the sequel came out last year and the 3rd book in the series is coming out soon. So I was like, this had to have been published like 2019, early 2019. And then they made a Watermelon Sugar reference. And I was like, okay, well that album came out in December of 2019. So this book came out in 2020. So did its sequel. And the 3rd one is coming out, I don't remember the exact date, but very soon. So Tracy Wolff is a beast and is just like pounding these books out. It's about a mortal girl whose parents die. Her uncle takes her in. Her uncle is the headmaster at a school, a boarding school in Alaska, which she just assumes is like, you know, a boarding school for rich kids. Little does she know that there is something supernatural lurking in this school. She meets bad boy Jackson, and of course falls for him because, of course, what do you do when you're just a sweet, innocent girl who moves to a boarding school and the bad boy talks to you on your first day? So in a lot of ways things are predictable, but then towards the end there were a lot of twists that I didn't see coming, and it really got me excited for the second one. For the first part of this book I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna want to continue this series. I own the second one and I was like, ugh, why? And then it got good. So that's why I got a 3-star. It's very slow to start, but I have high hopes for the rest of this series. So that is Crave. Okay, let's move on. We've got The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Y'all know, or YouTube may not know, but the blog knows, and Bookstagram knows that I love a good enemies to lovers. This is a good enemies to lovers. I gave it 5 stars. I don't often give romance novels 5 stars, but The Hating Game earned it. It is being made into a movie starring Lucy Hale, and that's really exciting. I mean, it's got workplace forbidden romance, enemies to lovers, a little bit spicy. I highly suggest you check this one out. Speaking of a little bit spicy and enemies to lovers, we've got The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. The 2 main characters, Olive and Ethan, their brother and sister get married to each other, and then everyone gets food poisoning at the wedding, and so they can't go on their honeymoon, so they give it to their maid of honor and best man, Olive and Ethan, to go on together. And as forced proximity will do, obviously things happen, romance ensues, drama ensues. Will they get their happily ever after? I gave this one 3 stars. It's not my favorite enemies to lovers I've ever read, but it was good. It was enjoyable. So that is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I really do love Christina Lauren's books. They write incredible books. Christina Lauren is 2 people, Christina and Lauren, but they write under the pseudonym Christina Lauren, and it is, like, they write some really good books. This one just wasn't my favorite. Next. Almost there. We've got Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This has been on my TBR for a while. It really intrigues me. It's about, the basic premise is once a year, this game master puts on this like interactive experience on an island where people come and try and solve this mystery, play the game, and they win. This year's was a wish. That's what they would win. So it's this like big extravaganza, and it kind of reminded me of like immersive interactive theater, which is something I studied in college, so that was really exciting to me. This did not disappoint. It was really good. It's about a girl and her sister who have always wanted to go and never have been able to. It's never come to their island, and they aren't supposed to leave their island until one year they get tickets and they sneak off their island and they go to participate in Caraval, and are separated. And that is how the drama ensues. They are separated. One of the sisters is now the prize. You have to find her to win the game. And the other one's like, well, crap, that's my sister. I have to find her. And it is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I can't wait to read the sequel. It is a trilogy. So yeah, I'm excited to keep reading more. The next book is the one I just finished today. This is the last one, and the reason why this is going up in the afternoon because I wanted to finish it for this. And that is Super Fake Love Song by David Yoon. David Yoon, husband of Nicola Yoon, who wrote Everything Everything. The Sun Is Also a Star. So yeah, so this is Nicola Yoon's husband. He also wrote the book Frankly in Love, which I have not read yet, but I have. And this book is about Sunny, who is like a total like Dungeons and Dragons nerd, and his brother Gray is a like rock star musician, or wannabe rock star. He's not a rock star, but he wants to be. And when a new girl moves to town whose parents are friends with Sunny and Gray's parents, they bring their daughter over, and their daughter wrongly assumes that Gray's room is Sunny's. And so he, because he has a crush on the new girl, takes on this persona of being a musician to impress the new girl, and things get a little out of hand. So I gave it 3 stars. It was good. Like, it was good for a YA coming of age sort of novel. I enjoyed it, but obviously I also am not like the intended audience for a book like this because I am 26, but I thought it was cute, and I highly recommend you read it. And last, but certainly not least, you've heard me talk about it in my February favorites. You've heard me talk about it on the podcast. It's been on all my social media. It's been all I've been able to talk about for about 2 weeks. A Court of Silver Flames. I won't say too much on here because if you want to hear all my thoughts about, not all, but most of my thoughts about A Court of Silver Flames, you can head over and listen to Lifestyled. Episode, I want to say it's 10, is all about, season 2 episode 10 is all about A Court of Silver Flames. But y'all, I've been waiting for this. This is the 4th full book, 5th in general book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. This one is about Feyre's sister Nesta, and Cassian, who is one of my favorite characters of all time. I love Cassian so much. But it is their story of how Nesta works through her trauma, about how they fall in love, about Nesta finally accepting who she is in this world that she's been forced into. I love this whole series. It's my favorite series, but this book is honestly my favorite in the series now. I gave it 5 stars. It's a beautiful book. I love the way Sarah J. Maas deals with mental health. I love her characters. I love her writing style. I love this world she's built. I think it is a truly beautiful book, and I just love it. So that is A Court of Silver Flames. And what else can I say about it that I haven't said? It's just really good. It's a little bit spicy. Not a little bit. It's her spiciest book yet. But it's just packed full of good content about mental health and family and friendship, and working through trauma and taking care of yourself and taking care of your family. Yeah, it was just really good. So those are the 9 books that I've read in the past 2 weeks, and I really enjoyed them. I did finish my February TBR, which is crazy. I'll make sure I link that video down below so you know what those 10 books were. I did finish them. So now, of course, I have like really high standards for finishing my March TBR, which will be out next week. So we'll see how the next 2 weeks goes and how the next month goes. but I'm feeling motivated to do some more reading. So if you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you drop a comment below of your favorite book you read in the month of February. Hit subscribe so you don't miss another video I upload, and the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when I upload a video. And I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye!